Okay, so we're getting to the end of the experience formula. Core experience number 9 is unstoppable momentum, or the big Mo for short. Mo fun, mo money, mo momentum. Here's the thing. When it comes to constant wins, it's not enough to win for the sake of winning. This isn't about pulling the lever and winning the slot machines. It's important that you connect each win as one step on the bird's eye journey from mission to mission accomplished. Your customers want to feel like each win is meaningful and that with each action, they're actually making forward progress and building momentum toward mission accomplished. Rather than experiencing the start and stop, hurry up and slow down rhythm that most information-based products unintentionally create. One of the ways you can do this is by reinforcing why a particular win matters and showing how each win builds on previous wins and creates the foundation for future wins. A great way to do this is at the end of a particular interaction or training. You simply reinforce what you've done, why it matters, and what happens next, so people have time to connect with the value of what just happened. For example, here's how I ended the Niche Down, Profits Up module, reinforcing what you learned and what happens next on your journey from mission to mission accomplished. So that's all I have for you. I just wanted to say congratulations. Really great work in this module. I know that niching can feel challenging at times and that it's scary to make a choice, even if it's just a get started choice. Well, you've done it. You are just a few minutes away from choosing and validating your micro niche so we can get started on designing that experience product of yours. I look forward to seeing you very soon in Nailing Your Offer, the second official module of the program. Now go out there and live your message. It's simple and it works. Now, if you're designing a one-on-one experience product, you can end your session with a series of wrap-up questions and something called VMAs, which I'll explain in just a moment. Here's an example of the wrap-up questions that the accountability coaches in our year-long mentorship program often ask their students to help them focus on clear next steps and address or normalize any challenges that could stop them from making forward progress. What are you committing or recommitting to accomplishing in the next 2 weeks? What might get in the way of you achieving these goals? Who can you reach out to for support? Then our coaches end the call with their 3 VMA questions to help our students ground the value they received in that session and feel like they're making progress. What was the most valuable thought, aha, takeaway that you gleaned from our time together today? Was there anything missing that you wanted to get clarity on? What would you like to be acknowledged for? So VMA stands for valuable, missing, acknowledged. And the reason this works is that it puts people in a mode of reflecting on the value they're receiving and acknowledging what that value is. Otherwise, it's super common for people to be so immersed in the process of your program that they don't realize how much they're doing, growing, changing, and evolving. Ironically, in order to build unstoppable momentum, you have to slow down and create opportunities for people to reflect on where they are in relation to where they want to be. Another way to do this is to create something called a qualitative rating scale, where you ask your clients to measure or track daily or weekly their progress towards a particular goal. A lot of time, qualitative rating scales are used to measure things that are usually subjective, such as how you feel about something in your life, business, health, or relationship. Or they can be used to measure small incremental changes in mindset, skill building, or some other gradual change that someone wants to make with your support. For example, at the beginning of our Marketing in a Weekend workshop, I gave my students a qualitative rating scale to self-diagnose how they currently feel about marketing and set their intentions for the weekend. It's common to create a scale from 1 to 10, which allows for precise measurement and to define each number along the way so your clients know what that number stands for. 1 is I hate marketing of all kinds and feel like it's manipulative and dirty. I want to give my work freely and purely and not put a dollar value on it or try to convince people to buy. If they want what I have, they'll be attracted to it without marketing. 3, I don't feel comfortable marketing and I'm not that interested in learning it. I'd like to find somebody else to just handle it for me. 5, I neither like nor dislike marketing. I see it as an essential part of business that just has to get done, regardless of how I feel about it. I'm willing to learn what I need to learn to be successful in business. 7, I've learned a few kinds of marketing and seen some results, I'm starting to enjoy the process, but I haven't completely found my marketing voice. I know I need to learn a lot more to feel like I can really move people into action. And 10, I feel completely at ease with marketing and confident in my ability to get as many clients as I want whenever I want. I see it as a natural extension of my message, and I own my marketing voice. Then I ask them how they want to feel about marketing by the end of our time together. Then I lead them through a process to identify why there's a gap between how they currently feel and how they want to feel. In other words, I help them identify what's stopping them from having unstoppable momentum by completing the blank with their very first thought. Marketing is blank. Then we take it one step further and have everyone stand up in the room and do an exercise called crossing the line, where the entire group stands on one side of the room, and the only way to get to the other side is to share the objection that's keeping them on that side of the room. I coach them through it until they're ready to cross to the other side. And usually when they do, they bring a bunch of other people along with them who had the same objection. We keep going until we get all the participants across the room and remove all the objections that would stop people from changing their relationship with marketing. In other words, we remove the brakes so people can build unstoppable momentum towards the goal. Then I take it even further and I systematically address each of the common reasons people don't market over the course of the next few days, giving people the skills and confidence they need to realize their intention for the event and my intention for them, which is to fall in love with marketing. So I know from experience that the biggest reasons people don't market are lack of clarity about their business, inner conflict about their worth or value, misunderstanding of what marketing is, lack of time, and lack of expertise. So we just take care of each one of these things one by one so my students can feel comfortable and confident marketing their hearts out. Then at the end of the event, we come back and have our participants rate themselves again so they can see how much they've already evolved, and we give them an opportunity to share their biggest breakthroughs and the actions they plan on taking next, which leads us to mission accomplished, which we'll be talking about in the next training. In one to few programs, I highly recommend ending sessions with a round of shares, whether everyone speaks or a few people are given the opportunity to share their biggest breakthrough. This helps the other students, clients, and customers connect with their progress as well and propel any holdouts into greater momentum. I've realized that we get deeper shares if I give participants a few minutes to answer a few specific questions first and gather their thoughts about their experience. Here are the questions I ask participants to fill out at the end of our in-person workshops. You can pick, choose, and customize a few of these to end your sessions with. What were your 3 biggest breakthroughs, insights, downloads, or aha moments? What are 3 big things you want to do in the next 3 to 12 months to take your business to the next level? What are you excited about and why? What are you proud of and why? What are you grateful for and why? You may also choose to open calls with a round of shares. One common format is to invite customers to either share a breakthrough or a challenge and open the space for their voices and experiences. This presences what's in the room and allows students to learn from each other, to be motivated by their wins, and to learn from their challenges. By using these one-to-one, one-to-few, and one-to-many methods to ground a particular action, training, or interaction, you help reinforce the progress that's being made while addressing any challenges that come up that could put the brakes on their momentum. These simple strategies of reinforcing progress and addressing challenges alongside stacking our first 8 core experiences together in every training and interaction creates the feeling of unstoppable momentum, where your customers really feel like they're making progress on their journey from mission to mission accomplished, and that they have the support and resources they need to keep going no matter what. Another way to build unstoppable momentum is to slowly gain momentum by ramping up from simpler actions to more challenging actions, so you're helping your customers build their skills and confidence and expand their capacity to take action one step at a time. The best video games on the planet understand this principle. They raise the challenge factor by about 25% each level, So they're stair-stepping players up to greater levels of skill and confidence, where they're challenged just enough to stay interested and keep going towards the ultimate goal of beating that level and ultimately winning the game. Smart game makers know that if they increase the challenge level too much, it's no longer fun. People are willing to take a beating as long as they still feel like they're up for the challenge and they can do it. They can be successful. They can win. So you want to raise the challenge level of your program incrementally while reinforcing each win to create the feeling of unstoppable momentum. Remember that unstoppable momentum comes about naturally by stacking the 8 core experiences together and structuring your content for success. So there's not much more you need to do other than leverage the first 8 core experiences, reinforce progress on a regular basis, and ramp people up from easier wins to more challenging actions. That said, it helps to understand where motivation and momentum comes from. According to Daniel Pink, author of the book Drive, The Surprising Truth About What Motivates Us, the 3 keys to motivation are autonomy, mastery, and purpose. When it comes to autonomy, people need the freedom to be themselves and make choices that work for them. So how can you direct people in your experience product while giving them the space to find their own solutions? How can you define exercises and actions in a way that allow for the process of discovery, where the answer isn't a foregone conclusion, so people feel like they have volition and choice in what they're doing? When it comes to mastery, how can you help people feel like they're learning, growing, and building skills, competence, and confidence? Whether you use qualitative learning scales like I suggested or something else, how can you create that experience of growth? And when it comes to purpose, how can you connect people to the deeper reason why they're doing something? In the Marketing in a Weekend workshop that I just talked about, before people diagnose how they're currently feeling about marketing and how they want to feel, I have them write down why they market using this fill-in-the-blank template. I market for the sake of blank. And I have them do both selfish and altruistic versions for why they want to market. Then we do a round of shares in the room to bring forward the juiciest motivations and leverage the power of community to inspire students to a deeper level of purpose. The reason we share both is because money, fame, and power motivates to a certain point. It's good to have that. But purpose motivation never runs out. It's a well that keeps on giving. As Harvard Business School professor Elizabeth Moss Cantor says, people can be inspired to meet stretch goals and tackle impossible challenges if they care about the outcome. So part of creating unstoppable momentum is to identify and reinforce purpose and caring. Future Self is part of this, and so are the kind of exercises that I just described. When this training is over, go to step 9 in your experience escalation plan. Use the space on the worksheet to brainstorm the best progression of wins that will allow you to ramp your customers up from simpler steps, actions, and wins to more complex steps, actions, and wins. You've already done a lot of this work using the 7-step product brainstorming process that you learned in our training on homing in on the how. In the next training, you're going to learn how to implement my favorite experience of them all, mission accomplished. This is where you get to celebrate everything your students, customers, and clients have achieved and support them in taking the next step, ideally with you. This is where you can turn one-time customers into repeat buyers and fans for life. Who doesn't want that? Now go out there and live your message.